What is going on, guys? I'm here in the master bedroom of our shipping container house. Hopefully starting to wrap things up today. We only really have about three or four things left to do. We finished painting all of the walls. We finished the ceiling. Now really all that's left to do is the floor, this shiplap, car siding, whatever you want to call it, wall, and then all of the trim. Some of the trim is still up, majority of the trim is gone. In this video, we're mostly going to be tackling the flooring. We've had a little bit of a dilemma so far, so let me tell you about it.
Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand.
In our bathroom, we have tile, but in the rest of the house, in the main living part of the house, we have this laminate flooring that we got at Home Depot. I told Cody, hey, Home Depot constantly discontinues flooring, so we should probably buy extras for the bedroom, because at the time we had carpet and we knew that carpet wasn't going to be forever. We knew that we would eventually have to tear down the walls in here and re-insulate, which we did. And so we went ahead and got rid of that carpet, and I really want to do hardwood. It's not really hardwood, it's laminate flooring. And lo and behold, guess what? Home Depot discontinued our flooring. So this is what our flooring originally was. These were the two samples that we took to Home Depot to purchase what we got. Now, I will say there was nothing that was super similar. So what we got is not even similar in size. The color somewhat goes with it, but our living room and kitchen have a lot more variety than this pack does. Nonetheless, I think it'll look fine, but it was quite difficult finding something that will match. So note to self, if any of you plan on doing flooring and getting it from like a big retailer like Home Depot or Lowe's, definitely buy more than you think you need or whatever extra room you plan on doing later, because they discontinue their stuff. With that being said, let me show you what we did get. Also, if you're curious where Cody's at, he is just right outside. You probably actually can see him from that window. He's rebuilding a carburetor on one of the jet skis because he needs to be able to go test it later on tonight. I'm gonna be tackling more of the preparations for flooring, and then once we actually get down to installing it and cutting it, he'll probably come in and join me. So this is what we ended up going with. It's called Noble Ford Oak, and it's waterproof laminate. As you can tell by the size comparison, it's definitely a different size than the flooring in the rest of our house, but the colors are relatively similar. However, I do feel like there's more of a variation in our living room and kitchen floors. I also feel like what we have in the other part of the house has like some yellow undertones, I guess I would say. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Either way, I think it'll be a good match, but let me show you. So now that you've seen it compared to the living room floor, what's your opinion? Do you think it'll be a relatively good match? I mean, considering it's a completely different room, we're gonna put a piece of trim in between. I think it'll be fine. Yeah, anyways, before we even can do that, I need to move everything out of this room because right now it's kind of been a catch-all room, as well as scrape the floor. There's a lot of spackle, spray foam, just a lot of stuff on this floor that needs to be scraped off before we can put the flooring so it all lays nice and flat. I kind of have my work cut out for me, but hopefully it won't take super long. We'll see. First things first, let's get everything out of here. And we're done. I didn't take anything out of the closet just because the closet needs a new piece of plywood. So I'm really only focusing on the main part of the floor here, which means I need to find a scraper, and then once everything's scraped, I'll have to sweep and vacuum. I have a feeling this is going to take a while, but it has to be done. So there's definitely a lot that needs to be scraped. not wanting to stay up today. In almost every single one of our videos because people always ask. I have a ton of bug bites because I live in the woods and I hate bug spray. I still wear it on occasion, but I really don't like it. And I walk around everywhere barefoot even though I'm not supposed to. So I just have a ton of bug bites. It is what it is.
You know how sometimes you just need a little bit of power without the hassle of lugging around a big heavy power station? Maybe you're camping, on a road trip, or even just hanging out in the backyard. That's exactly where this comes in, the EcoFlow Trail 300 DC. This is part of their new Trail series, which is all about making portable power super lightweight, compact, easy to use. The Trail 300 DC is only about 5.5 pounds, so it's light enough to toss in your backpack or your bag without even thinking about it. This thing's gonna be great for camping. I can keep my phone, drone, camera batteries, and little camping light charged all weekend without ever having to worry about finding an outlet. With all that versatility, we don't have to fight over charging ports. We've also used it in the car on long drives, plugged it in for movies, kept the GPS running, and charged our phones all at the same time. And even at home it comes in handy. We had friends over in the backyard one night and we used it to keep our speaker running that we always somehow forget to charge. We didn't have to lug around one of the huge power banks or hunt down an extension cord. It's light enough to toss in a bag and simple enough to not have to mess with a ton of settings. It's really simple to use. You have two USB-C ports. One of them is used as an input to be able to charge, and it can also be used as an output, and then the other one is just an output to be able to charge your devices. Then you have two regular USB outlets, and then it even has a solar input port, so you can charge it with a solar panel, or you can charge it with your car's cigarette lighter this way. And then lastly, it has a car's cigarette lighter adapter in here, so you can use it to run things like an air pump when you're camping to blow up your air mattress, charge your phone, GPS, those kind of things. And if you're not super experienced with solar and you don't want to damage it, you can just buy EcoFlow solar panel that they made specifically for this power station, so that way you don't have to worry about getting the wrong voltage solar panel or anything like that. You can just plug it in and it's good to go. And like I said, it's super simple to use. It actually only has two buttons. There's one on the top to turn it on, and then one right here to turn on the outlets. Right here you have how much time remaining to charge or how much time remaining of your battery left. You have your battery percentage, and then this shows you when you're charging it, how many watts you're putting in to charge it, and then how many watts you're using. And then it even has a nifty little carrying strap on top. So whether you're camping, road tripping, or just want something small but reliable for when you're away from power, the Trail 300 DC is one of those things that you'll actually end up using more than you think you would. You can use my code on the screen for 5% off, and as always, I'll have all the details linked down below. Thanks to EcoFlow for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to it. What do you think? This is essentially the same pattern as the living room.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's easy enough. We've done it before. I think it's fine. I think we should just, what are you staring at?
I'm thinking what to do about the doorway. The next piece is supposed to be this small piece right here. I can keep the same line with this and just make it longer that way to go out into the door. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's fine. There's gonna be a piece of trim that goes right there anyways, so I'm not super worried about it. It usually takes us a minute to get a good groove going, but once we kind of figure out what we're doing, we have all the measurements ready to go, we can blow through it pretty quickly. He's using a scratch piece of board to knock everything in place, because if he were to hit it directly with the hammer, then it would end up looking like this. So pro tip.
Another pro tip. Once you got enough room with the boxes, move all your boxes onto the floor, because since it's a floating floor, it moves every time you hit it. So once you get a little bit started, get it in the place you want it exactly, and then put a bunch of weight on it. Now you don't have to stand on it every time when you hit it.
I'm exhausted. I don't want to cook, but we have to eat. So I'm going to pan fry chicken breast for myself, cook Cody this sirloin steak in the cast iron if he's still hungry. There's an extra chicken breast. And then we have a bag salad kit that my brother-in-law brought over the other night. So that is what we were having for dinner. Minimal effort. Also, this clock says it's 6:04, but it's 100% like maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Never trust a clock in our house. They're always wrong. You just need to get salad dressing.
Okay.
No, it's fine. Right, the last thing I need to do before bed is wash all of these eggs. They're pretty dirty, so I don't want to just leave them sitting like this. I'm exhausted and I really want to lay down, so hopefully I can just blow through this really quick.